All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Dominoes 7 Show live location at my crib. Welcome back to the presentation Dominoes 7 Show presentation. The Dominoes 7 Show presentation. All right, on the last segment, I say welcome back to the radio show, but I'm not even doing a radio show, but I apologize for my mispronunciation. Okay, had to cut the light on, though. But anyway, y'all gonna listen to some more songs that I'm gonna have y'all listen to. Okay, I may repeat some if I think about it. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, what I'm gonna do is have y'all listen to some songs, and then y'all gonna see an interview with Mr. Mack Dennis. Okay, all right. So listen to the songs and listen to him talk. Okay, all right. Be right back.
They call me the fat man, 'cause I weigh 300 pounds. I was daydreaming inside the levee of the Mississippi River around Christmas time, 56, when the president of the American Legion pulled up. He quickly stapled a poster to a telegraph post at the head of the old Vacherie Road. I got my ass off the grass and checked it out. Come one, it said, come all to a grand dance at the St. Joseph Hall, Vacherie, Louisiana. And right underneath that was a picture of Fats Domino and his baby grand piano. I could have caught my head and drop-kicked it to heaven. Folks said Fats Domino was from Vacherie, and his old grandmother still lived in Vacherie. Well, folks say it wasn't good enough for me. I wanted to hear it out his mic. He could have put Vacherie on the map, but Fats Domino didn't come. As he got bigger in New Orleans, the city he called home, the Legion spoke to him again. They go shoot his fat ass if he don't come this time, says a fella field worker while breaking corn ears and mines too, 'cause Fats still didn't show. He's coming this time. They wind up saying that shit 2-3 times a year. Cars be parked almost a mile along the crooked Black River Road. Folks grouped together at the head of the lands like they was expecting a parade. There come his piano, y'all. I don't know why they even bothered to unload it as many trips as it made to Vacherie. The wind and the bumps probably had it out of tune anyway. And where is Fats Domino? I'm walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. He must be fucking walking, huh? Or is he talking to the dancing nights in Las Vegas tonight? I heard he got broke. Yes, he coming for sure this year, 'cause he need the money. And his grandma in the hall tonight too. Old lady most 100 years old and ain't seen him since he was a fat baby. He'll be alright. Fat Domino ain't that low down, y'all. There his boss is. The Fats Domino Review. Country folks pushing and stepping on people's feet with shined brogans. Everybody wants to see the fat man. You could have came, big man. But that's okay now. 'Cause you see, I don't need you to tell people where Vacherie's at. I'll do it myself, fact. They call me the Mack Man. It was neat when we faced their sheet, then used a boycott to share the front seat. Old-timers from the Canal Street station still rap on struggles of the first black bus drivers for the city of New Orleans. They tested the tempers of a racist society with a white-looking Negro the bus superintendent selected from the back end of a push broom in the station's bathroom. Come to find out, old white-looking Chester didn't like driving a bus or the spotlight of being a first, so he quit and went back to pushing his stick. The gam-legged superintendent, pressured by the mayor to end segregation at the station, looked for a replacement to satisfy the angry black nation. But there were no more white-looking black men to send. So he came up with Freddie, who was brown-skinned and kind of heavy in both the head and the belly. Some whites didn't take it light when they saw Freddie behind his bus that night. The buckshots missed as he stood taking a piss. The superintendent then made it known that he was looking for coloreds with strong jawbones. He sent supervisors with flyers to fish fries on the bayou. He even sent one to a housing project named Desire. Out of them ghettos came hard-hitting Ben and soul brothers with nicknamed Skin, Sudball, polka-dot red, blue, and ruddy hue, me too. Decked out in new white shirts tucked into pressed black slacks, we resembled waiters wearing policeman caps. We were eager to serve. Step up, please. Boy, you telling a white man what to do? Some people, time won't change them. Money won't change them, but a steel-plated coin change aside the head will. The superintendent today is a dark-skinned Afro-American who was one of those first black bus drivers. The mayor today is the son of New Orleans' first black mayor, who was a white-looking Negro elected by the people. Elected by the people. But it almost took a revolution.
I said, I want to get this jockey. And I'm loving this jockey shit, boss. But even this jockey, going to broadcast school, trying to be good, ain't paying my way. And the thought of not being able to take care of my 3 children stays on my mind. So between me, you, and this unplugged microphone that ain't on, I'm walking around carrying a good heart and a gun and a fistful of dollars from selling Superfly powder. Motherfucker, you better go get my money. What you mean it's raining out there, nigga? I'm out there. You better get my money. Every time I come up these project steps, you and your old lady frying eggs, talking about that's all y'all got to eat. You think I'm stupid? You better get my money. Angola, oh Angola, This will take my ass out of Louisiana. I'm tired of waiting my mother. Horse, you hear me, horse? I'm gonna take me an intermission on my life. I'll talk to you from California.
Okay, now when we get ready to start, normally we have, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is for the house music. Right now, let's just do about 3 minutes of house music. Now I want to hear the end of the house music so he can make sure he got his cue for when they come in and don't eat nobody give us chicken. Okay. So he can hear it. Let him hear it now. Don't sing it, man. Go for the house music. When you hear it, raise your hand. I want you to play house music, whatever you're going to play, whatever you're going to do. Listen to me. And then give the transition. When you hear the transition, if you hear it, raise your hand. Don't sing. Okay, let's go. Don't get you start singing at the stairs. And you got 2 minutes to do a solo. Okay, now listen. Once we start, there is no stopping, there's no correcting, there's no going back and doing something over again. We go all the way through whatever mistake, you just clean it up, and I'll take notes. All right. All right, what time is it? Wait a minute, let me figure out how time to start. What time is it?
It is now 8:53.
Okay, which day we start? 8:55. Okay, you got about 3 minutes, 2 minutes for solo ready. Let's start up with that whole show, so no stop and go.
Ain't nobody here but us chicken. Ain't nobody here but us all. Ain't nobody here but us chicken. Ain't nobody here at all. We chicks trying to sleep, and you bustin' a gobble, 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 hit the head. Ain't nobody here but us chicken. Ain't nobody here at all. Ain't nobody fire. The big kitchen match pop like a captain horse. Ain't no use in trying to recall where Pop and my cousin Howard and Joseph was when my grandmother accidentally set our house on fire. 'Cause I don't remember nothing till I see us watching our house burn down. It must have been a big house, though. Are you sure it was a big fire? Everybody in Vashon, Louisiana came to watch. Well, they couldn't do nothing else but watch. We didn't have a fire department. Shit, we didn't even have a water department. Everybody looked at us with pity. They said, them poor bad enough they got to raise their grandchildren yet. And they ain't got no house. What they gonna do now? Mom said, the God I serve can do anything. God see, God know, and God he can make your burden no heavier than you can bear. Pop, you know, he was walking around the ashes of our ruins, swinging his dogwood walking stick like he needed a home run. Good gracious, Lord. Good gracious, Lord. But he already had 3 strikes against him. He was old, he was crippled, and twist him and Mom, they got just $144 a month pension. We moved in with our next door cousin while Pop painfully built our new house. I'd be watching him through the rain as he'd be slip sliding with the heavy joist in his old powerful hand. And every morning, 4 sunup, Pop be gone fishing for a living. And by the time he'd get up and have breakfast, he'd be riding in with sacks of toothpick and catfish strung across the back of his old bony brown horse Molly. Me and my cousins walked the rocky roads singing, I got fresh fish for sale, lady. About our charcoal house, Tom said, the Lord give it, and the Lord took it. My old uneducated grandmother know more Bible than people who can read. I'd be so proud of her on Testament Sunday at the First Baptist Church.
Mack Dennis speaking. If you want to know my real name, which a lot of people don't believe when I tell them, it's McNeil Dennis. They always say, hey, you should be Dennis McNeil. So,
He said he wasn't coming back to the old Vacherie Road no more. I've been having you since the day you born. So get that big city grin off of your shitting face and go sweat in the fields for me like I've been sweating for you.
in Vacherie right now, it's about, I guess about 2 blocks from where I was raised. Where I'm sitting right now would be where the white rice field owner, his house used to sit right around here in this area here. And now it's called Magnolia Heights, sort of the new Magnolia. But it's still behind me. If you look behind me, you'll see soybean growing, so it's not growing rice anymore.
Look way over yonder where that red tractor plowing up dust. That's where we go plant sugar cans today.
But what I like most about Vacherie is it told me, you know, original storytelling was just about born here. But I experienced this for myself. And along the way, I want to tell you about my new book that's coming out, because I'm happy to be doing something again, and I'm happy to be working with this man behind the camera again. You can't see it, but this is my friend, and we out here in Vacherie having a good time. Actually, I'm drinking some of my best friend pickle homemade wine. Get the book, pickle in the book too. I got him in the book. And this would be Stevine, which was the white man, the field owner, and his brother Pete. They lived up right here on this land where I'm sitting now, and that would have been the rice field instead of soybean. But I just left by my old Uncle Brother house, which is right down the Collin land in Vacherie. Uncle Brother was a storyteller. You know, I would often come out looking for Uncle Brother because he paid my way to go to the movies, you know, and gave me a little chump change to keep in my pocket. So every Saturday I had to go by Uncle Brother and get my stuff, you know. I got a poem and the book I got from my Uncle Brother. You start off, you know, Uncle Brother paid my dues, kept up my society dues, paid my barber, and did little daddy duties that my grandmother made him do. She said I wasn't going to be running around Vacherie looking like an old pookie. You probably don't know what a pookie means, but that's Creole in Vacherie. That means who he for. So I just went back and paid my society dues myself out of my own pocket because my Uncle Brother's been dead and gone for a while. Not that long, though. He died at like 94 years old. That's been like maybe 8-10 years ago. But, you know, that's what I like about Vacherie. When I go look for my brother sometimes, they say he would be on the road. When it meant by him being on the road, he would be right in front of the store I just passed. Used to be called Gab's store. But he'd be sitting out there in front, parked on the oyster shell parking, and he'd be telling stories that everybody would crowd around his car. You know, I tried to get a little close to see what was going on, but, you know, he was kind of shut up when he seen me coming, so I guess the shit was X-rated. I was a kid. But he was telling stories, but out here they call them lies. They don't call telling stories. So that's your Uncle Brother out there lying. So I'm coming back to my roots when I say Vacherie. That's why the book that I'm putting out is going to be poems, spoken word poems, short stories from the plantation in Vacherie to Hollywood, California. You know, that's where the stories go. These are the stories that made me a Poetry Slam champion. You know, as old as I am, you might not believe that. I was a champion quite a few times, but these are stories from Vacherie, Louisiana. I have characters from Vacherie, and I just love this place. And, you know, you got to see the book, and, you know, especially so you can read about Fats Diamond. You know, I got him back. Yeah, anyway, they say Fats was from here. If anybody know about Vacherie, they'll tell you, say, hey, Fats Diamond from Vacherie. But he ain't never admitted, so I ain't giving no props away. And like I say, the book will be out in about a month. I know today's what I don't know, it's in June, like the 9th, something like that. But the book will be out in about a month. And from there, see what's happening.
You see, I don't need you to tell people where Vacherie's at. I'll do it myself. Fact. They call me the Mac Man.
I was bad, man. I was bad. I can't believe it, but you know, I met a little guy in Vacherie, and he was at the bar when I went to the bar. That was like maybe 8 years ago. And he looked at me, he said, McNeil? I said, yeah, that's me. McNeil? Yeah. He said, you are a bad motherfucker. I said, hold up, bro, I wasn't that bad. He said, yeah, you used to run me home. You know, he lived on the plantation where we went down there on the San Joseph plantation, the Laura plantation he lived on. You know, I used to run him home, man, but I didn't think, you know, I didn't make 100 pounds till I was 18 years old, so I couldn't have been that bad, but I don't know, it wouldn't let us ride the school bus, so I did my issue, but I did good things out here too. I worked in a rice field, helped feed my family. I picked rice, I cut sugar cans, you know. I work hard here in Vacherie, you know, so I had to. If you read the old Vacherie Road, where my grandmother say, get that big city grin off your shitting face and go sweat in the field for me, like I've been sweating for you. I done sweat in these fields here. I can look at, I know the dirt. I can look at the dirt and I can tell I know the dirt. I done sweat in these fields for a while, so I was good too. You know, I wasn't just all bad per se. I didn't write nothing as a kid. As far as I wrote was in on my cousin's yearbook. I wrote a passage, something I don't know where it came from, but and the teachers thought it was good. And if I can remember it right now, I'll give it to you. I might remember before the 7th year over. But I always wanted to write because somebody, when I was a kid, somebody told me that Mr. Burris, whoever he is, I think he was related to my family, related to us actually, had wrote a book, and he was from Vacherie. But I never saw the book. I always heard he wrote a book. But even coming up, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a writer. You know, my favorite was reading comic books. I've been reading all my life. I love to read, you know. And if you stand in this, if you got to sit in the outhouse in Vacherie in the summertime, hot like it is right now, and you in there with a comic book, you got to love how to read to sit in the outhouse. And I couldn't go to the outhouse without having me something to read. You know, that's how long I've been wanting to be a writer. But it took me a long time to get to the point where I could write because life had other callings for me. You know, the civil rights was happening. You know, when I got out of high school, I went to New Orleans 2 years after high school and lived with my mother who was living in New Orleans. The civil rights movement was in full swing. So, of course, I got in on the marching. I went to marching and did a sit down at the Woolworth. Wherever, I was into the civil rights movement. And during that time, I also got married. And from the civil rights movement, I became one of the first black bus drivers in New Orleans. So that was like a big, major leap in life for me, you know, as far as job concerned, because we were making more money than police, teachers. You know, I was now in a different class. But I say I got fired from that. I couldn't make it to work on time. I was partying too much. New Orleans was party town, and I couldn't make it to work because I would be up in the bars all night, and I had the 4:30 roll call in the morning, so I threw too many misses and got fired. Then I became a policeman. I left that job and I worked for the harbor policeman in about 2 years, but the chief and the psych and everybody told me I wasn't cut out for that job, so they fired me. And then, you know, during that time, the civil rights movement had blossomed to damn near a revolution because the Black Panther was calling. So I answered that call. You know, before I know it, I'm in the Black Panther Party. You know. That's about 2 years of doing that. And the Black Panther, well, you know, good revolutionaries either get killed or they go to jail. So I wind up going to Angola from there. And when I got out of Angola, I went to getting busted looked like every month I was going to jail. I thought, oh, something's wrong here. That's when I decided to leave Louisiana and head to California. But I decided all the bullshit was out, you know. I got out of the penitentiary. The Black Panthers movement was altogether different. It was like the movement had died. J. Edgar Hoover had killed it already, really. So it was no Black Panther left to be. You know, then I went to pursuing my dreams. You know, I always wanted to go to Hollywood. You know, I wanted to write, you know. So here I was. I say Hollywood basically because I never knew who my father was while I was living in Vacherie. But my grandmother told me that my father was in California, Los Angeles. You know, but the Hollywood aspect came because of the movies. I've been watching movies. I figured I can write for TV. I can write for It wasn't not TV so much for the movies. I could write stories. That's why I say Hollywood. Hollywood's because I always had that want to be on stage in my mind. I want to be like my uncle brother. I want to be out there telling stories, doing something like that. But even when I got to San Francisco, it took a long time before I could even started thinking about. Well, I always was still thinking about writing, and I'll do a little writing every now and then. But then seriously, I had a heart attack when I was like, I was like 54 years old, and I had been talking about writing a book all my life. I used to tell my son I'm gonna write a book, and my son looked at me after the heart attack. He said, "Dad, you've been talking about writing that book. He said, about time you get on it, huh?" And that's when he hit me. Hey, he's right. So I started going to community colleges, and I was in 95. Started writing poetry, came back to New Orleans to get my health back and strength, for a year with my daughter. Joined a workshop here with Kalamu Yasalam and learned how to be a poet. So it was like the stories were already in me. I had like maybe 5, 6 stories in my head that I just wanted to bring out. I knew characters that would really made me laugh when I was a kid. So I created that character and put him, for entertainment, for humor. His name was Ching. I got stories about him in the book, and it became stories that I've been having, and also about the time I was in the Black Panther Party. I documented all that in my head. My first black bus driver. So I got a poem to reflect each one of that. Angola, I got a poem called Angola, when I was in Angola. So I took my whole life experience, the good and the bad, and turned the bad into good too. You can turn bad into good. That's my way of turning bad into good by, writing these stories. No, they didn't flow out. It flow out in per se, but it took time to perfect all the way, like to get that whole story into the written form where it be understood on the page as well as understood on the stage. It took a lot of rewriting, and it didn't just come easy, but they were there. Performing, and when I saw my first slam, I saw my first slam in San Francisco. I think it was like somebody versus a San Francisco team. I think it was Australia or I don't know, some team. But that was in 94, and I saw the performance on stage, the slam poetry. I say, then at that time I started dabbling in doing theater. I was doing a little acting because people who heard me read, they liked my voice, so they booked me for plays. And when I saw the slam, I said, damn, I can write and perform my own stuff. I don't have to really be an actor. It was just a medium that hit me, and I wanted to do it. And I wanted to win. I figured I could win. I wasn't getting it not to win, and that's how slam came into the picture. I'd say my biggest inspiration for writing is Langston Hughes. I don't think you.
There's more to come after these messages, okay? All right.